Rain drummed against the window as I sat on the couch, phone clenched in my fist, heart pounding against my ribs. A single message had shattered everything I thought was real. I can't wait to see you again. Last night was unforgettable. The words burned into my mind, a brand of betrayal I never saw coming. My wife's name sat above the text, but the message wasn't meant for me. My breath came shallow, each inhale laced with disbelief. I stared at the screen, waiting, hoping, praying for some logical explanation. But none came. Instead, the silence mocked me, a cruel reminder that the woman I loved, the one who vowed forever, had given herself to someone else. A twisted ache settled in my gut as I scrolled up, scanning previous messages. Late-night confessions, stolen moments, promises of passion, all exchanged with a stranger. My fingers trembled as I gripped the device tighter, rage boiling beneath my skin. This wasn't just an affair, it was an entire world she had built outside of ours. The door creaked open and soft footsteps padded across the floor. I forced my breathing to steady, hiding the phone beneath a cushion. "You're home early." Olivia's voice carried the same warmth it always had, the same sweetness that once felt like home. But now it dripped with deception. I turned, locking eyes with her. "Yeah, thought I'd surprise you." The words barely made it past my clenched teeth. She smiled, setting her purse on the counter. "That's sweet." She leaned in, pressing her lips against mine. My body stiffened at the contact. The taste of betrayal lingered on her breath, and I wondered if it was him she was thinking about when she kissed me. Fury clawed at my chest, demanding release, but I swallowed it down. Not yet. I needed answers first. "How was your day?" I asked, forcing normalcy into my tone. She stretched, yawning. "Exhausting. Meetings back to back. I barely had time to eat." Lies. Every syllable was a carefully woven web. "Really? Where'd you go for lunch?" Her gaze flickered just for a second, but I caught it. "Oh, just grabbed a salad near the office. Nothing exciting." I almost laughed. She didn't even try. "Sounds boring." She nodded, stepping toward the bedroom. "I need a quick shower. Join me." The audacity sent a chill down my spine. My hands curled into fists as I watched her disappear behind the door. My mind raced through possibilities, confrontation, revenge, walking away. None of them satisfied the storm raging inside. Instead, I grabbed my keys, slipping out the door. I needed air, space, clarity. I needed to see the truth for myself. The cool night air did little to calm the fire burning inside me. Each step felt heavier as I walked toward my car, mind tangled in thoughts darker than the sky above. Olivia had lied so effortlessly, spun deception like it was second nature. I needed to know just how deep this betrayal ran. Sliding into the driver's seat, I pulled up the messages again. A name I didn't recognize. Nathan. The man who had stolen what was mine. My fingers tightened around the steering wheel, knuckles whitening as I read through their exchange. "I can't stop thinking about you." "When can I see you again?" "Tonight. Same place." A hotel address followed, sent just a few hours ago. My pulse thundered as I copied the location into my GPS. My wife was showering, washing away the scent of another man, believing she had fooled me. But she was wrong. Tonight, the truth would come out. The drive felt endless, anger bubbling with every red light, every slow-moving car. When I finally pulled into the parking lot of the hotel, a sickening weight settled in my gut. Olivia had been here, wrapped in another man's arms, moaning his name instead of mine. I clenched my jaw, stepping out of the car. The entrance doors slid open, revealing a dimly lit lobby. A young receptionist barely looked up as I strode past, eyes scanning for any sign of her. The elevator dinged and a couple stepped out. laughing, whispering. I turned away, stomach twisting at the thought of Olivia and Nathan doing the same just moments ago. My fists clenched as I moved toward the hallway, searching for the room number I had memorized. I stood in front of the door, breath heavy, hands shaking. The thought of what lay beyond it made my blood boil. I wanted to kick it down, to drag Nathan out by his collar and make him regret ever touching my wife. But I needed proof. Steadying myself, I pulled out my phone and dialed Olivia's number. It rang. Once, twice. Then, "Hey, baby," she answered, voice soft. Lies. Every word was poison. "Miss you," I murmured, keeping my tone even. "Wish you were here?" There was a pause, a hesitation. "I miss you too," she finally said. "I'm just lying in bed, exhausted." Rage surged through me, but I swallowed it down. "I bet." "Long day, huh?" Another pause. I could hear movement, sheets rustling, a muffled voice in the background, deep, masculine. "Nathan." My teeth ground together as I whispered, "Turn around." Silence. Then a sharp intake of breath. I watched the peephole darken, knew she was standing on the other side of the door, heart pounding, mind racing. "Open up, Olivia." The knob rattled slightly before going still. "What are you talking about?" she stammered. "I'm home." My patience snapped. "Lying won't save you. Open the door." Another moment of silence, then hurried whispers. I heard shuffling, panic setting in. The sound of fabric rustling, clothes being thrown on in desperation. I waited, anger simmering, until the latch finally clicked. The door cracked open just enough for her to peek through, eyes wide, face pale. "What are you doing here?" I pushed forward, stepping inside before she could react. The room smelled of sweat and sin, of betrayal soaked into the very walls. The bed behind her was unmade, sheets tangled in a mess of passion that did not belong to me. And there he was, Nathan. Standing in the corner, shirt half-buttoned, belt undone, frozen like a deer in headlights. Olivia turned to him, eyes pleading. This isn't... But I was done listening. "Save it." My voice was eerily calm, the storm now controlled, directed. "You had your chance to tell the truth. Now you'll deal with the consequences." Olivia reached for me, but I stepped back, disgusted. "Please, I can explain." I let out a cold laugh. "Explain? Explain what? That you've been spreading your legs for another man? That you've been lying to my face while sneaking off to cheap hotel rooms?" Nathan cleared his throat, finally finding his voice. "Listen, man, I turned on him so fast he flinched. "Shut your mouth." He shrank back, hands raised. Pathetic. I took a deep breath, letting the fury settle into something sharper, something more controlled. "You think this ends here?" I asked Olivia, watching the fear creep into her eyes. "You think you get to just go home, wash him off, and pretend this never happened?" She swallowed hard. I stepped closer, lowering my voice. "Number. This is just the beginning. Double asterisk." Olivia's lips parted, but no words came. Her pupils dilated, breath hitching as my words sank in. Fear, guilt, desperation. They all flickered across her face, but none of them mattered. The damage was done. Nathan shifted, running a hand through his disheveled hair. "Look, man, I didn't know..." I cut him off with a sharp glare. "Don't lie." My voice was cold, steady, controlled. "You knew. You just didn't care." His Adam's apple bobbed as he swallowed hard. He had the audacity to look ashamed, but it was too late for remorse. Olivia, still wrapped in the sheet she had hurriedly grabbed, reached for my arm. "Please, just let's talk. Not here. Not like this." I shook her off, stepping backward. "You want to talk now, after sneaking around behind my back?" After lying straight to my face while you were in this room, with him. She flinched. It wasn't like that. I let out a short, humorless laugh. It wasn't? My voice dripped with mockery. You're half naked. The bed smells like sweat. The sheets are still warm. Tell me, Olivia, what exactly was it like? Her mouth opened and closed, eyes darting between me and Nathan. He stood there, silent now, guilt etched across his features. I never meant to hurt you. I exhaled sharply, shaking my head. That's what all cheaters say, isn't it? But you didn't care about hurting me when you were with him. She grabbed my wrist this time, fingers trembling. Please, let's go home. Just us. We'll figure this out. I jerked my arm away. Home? I echoed, letting the word sink in. You think there's still a home after this? Tears welled in her eyes. I love you. I laughed again, shaking my head. Love? You call this love? I gestured toward the bed, the tangled sheets, the discarded clothes. Love doesn't make you sneak into hotels with another man. Love doesn't make you lie to my face. She sobbed now, hands clasped together like she was praying for forgiveness. I was weak. Weak? My voice hardened. No, Olivia, you were selfish. Nathan took a step forward, and I turned toward him, fury barely contained. You're awfully quiet now. He raised his hands. I don't want trouble. I smirked. Too late for that. He paled. Look, I get it. You're mad. Mad? I repeated, stepping closer. No, Nathan. I'm not mad. I'm calculating. His brow furrowed. What? I leaned in slightly, lowering my voice. You think this is over? You think you'll just go back to your life like nothing happened? He blinked rapidly, shifting uncomfortably. I smirked. Watch and see. Olivia grabbed my arm again. Please, don't do anything rash. I turned to her, gaze burning into hers. Oh, I won't. I took a slow breath, letting my fury coil inside me like a viper ready to strike. But you will regret this, both of you. I stepped back toward the door, my pulse steady, mind racing with the possibilities. I wouldn't yell. I wouldn't lash out. No, my revenge would be slow, methodical, devastating. I took one last look at Olivia, her tear-streaked face, trembling hands, regretful eyes. Then, without another word, I walked out. Because this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. The days that followed were filled with silence from Olivia. She didn't call. She didn't text. Maybe she knew she had no words that could fix what she had done. Or maybe she was waiting for me to explode, for the inevitable storm to crash down on everything she thought she could keep. But I wasn't rushing. Revenge wasn't about impulse. It was about precision. I spent my time gathering every piece of ammunition I needed. Bank statements, credit card records, copies of our texts, her messages to Nathan, hotel bookings, all of it. A perfect, undeniable web of betrayal, ready to be unleashed when the time was right. The first strike was simple. Olivia came home one evening to find her key no longer worked. I sat inside, watching from the window as she jiggled the doorknob, confusion twisting into panic. She knocked, pounded on the wood. Babe, what's going on? I let her knock a little longer before opening the door. This isn't your home anymore. Her face fell. What? No, please. I tossed a folder at her feet. It landed with a sharp smack, papers spilling out onto the porch. Read it. She knelt, hands shaking as she flipped through the pages. Evidence of her affair, copies of her conversations with Nathan, a lawyer's letter outlining our impending divorce. Her breath came out ragged. You're leaving me. I crossed my arms. No, Olivia. You left me the moment you chose him. Tears streamed down her face. Please, we can fix this. I made a mistake. I tilted my head, studying her. A mistake? I let the words hang between us before I leaned in, lowering my voice. No, Olivia, you made a choice. She sobbed, reaching for me, but I stepped back. Take your things and leave. She shook her head. Where am I supposed to go? I smiled coldly. Maybe Nathan has a spare room. Her shoulders slumped in defeat. She knew there was no winning this, no redemption. She had gambled and lost. But I wasn't done. A week later, I made sure Nathan felt the weight of his actions. A little digging had revealed that Nathan wasn't just some random fling. He was engaged to a woman named Rachel. I found her on social media. Beautiful, unsuspecting, deeply in love. So I sent her everything. Screenshots, hotel records, proof of her fiancé's betrayal. And then I sat back and watched as her world unraveled, just as mine had. Nathan lost everything. His engagement crumbled, his reputation shattered. Olivia, abandoned by both of us, was left to pick up the pieces of the life she had destroyed. I didn't look back, because the truth was simple. She stole love from me, and I took everything from her in return.